You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, we're going to talk about Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns because, as we know, there's been a lot of controversy for 3 weeks surrounding the Browns. Deshaun Watson, a shoulder that's hurt, but yet the team medically cleared him. His removal from last week's game looked like he had a concussion. They ruled he did not. And then, of course, I guess he continued irritation in his shoulder. That's the thing. We really don't know what's going on. Now, I did see some fans on a couple of videos pointing out people on the Cleveland Browns reporters locally are not spinning this in the way you guys are. Well, look, while the beat reporters on the ground next to the team tend to know more than sometimes the national guys do, there's also one thing you got to remember. They're going to be pro-team, all right? Generally speaking, beat reporters are going to be very pro-team because they don't want to lose access to their income, their bread and butter. In other words, yeah, generally speaking, they're going to be more positive, and they're going to spin this in a way that makes the team look a little bit better because they got to be able to have access to the team. Okay, so that's absolutely a thing. Now, let's remember, we started out after said benching and removal from the game, which the Browns ended up winning. By the way, they're 2-0 now without Deshaun Watson. They're 2-0. They beat the 49ers. They beat the Colts. And I understand either one of those games could have went either way, but nonetheless, that's still a fact. And this came out immediately after the game from the AP. Browns expect Deshaun Watson to start next week against the Seahawks. Well, guess what? The next day it turned into day-to-day, and then by Wednesday he was ruled out, okay? And we're back to the shoulder. It led a lot of people down this road, and look, Deshaun Watson's got himself to blame for this because when you tell your teammates you're going to play and everybody expects you to play, and then at the very last minute, 2 hours before the game, you put the Browns in a terrible position by saying, I'm not playing against the Ravens. Yeah, some people are going to start questioning your motivation around playing because you've got a guaranteed contract. So Deshaun Watson actually came out and addressed that. And we'll get to some comments from Rappaport, too, around that injury. So let's take a look at this. Watson came out. He's slamming back at people that are insinuating, why does he want to pay? He's got Brady Quinn was very critical because Brady was like, hey, it's kind of like a trust fund kid. Why would they go work when they just got $230 million? That actually kind of makes sense, what Brady Quinn had to say. So, Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson will be unavailable for the team's Week 8 game against the Seahawks as he continues to deal with a shoulder injury. This is Fox News. Watson started last Sunday's game against the Colts, but backup P.J. Walker was called upon to finish the game. All of this in the backdrop of this, remember, he's been horrible. He's been horrible in all of his games with the Browns, except outside of 2 games. He has looked like a bottom. Well, he's really looked like a quarterback that shouldn't be starting, but a bottom 3rd quarterback on a $230 million contract? Okay. Watson has appeared in 4 games so far this season, but Sunday's game will mark the 3rd game he's missed. The lingering injury has fueled the uncertainty about Watson's timetable to return. The veteran signal caller admitted that he currently does not feel ready to get on the football field. Quote, right now, we're not in a space where I should be out there, Watson said Thursday. I'm trying to get a percentage where I can go out there and be very, very beneficial for the team. It looks even worse because Baker Mayfield played his guts out for this team. Baker should not have been playing. He shouldn't have. But he was trying to get a contract. He was trying to help his team. He was trying to gut it out, kind of what you expect out of a franchise quarterback. And so when this is your guy and he follows Baker, it shines even a brighter spotlight on it, especially in light of the fact that I think even though Baker lost last night, we got to remember Baker's making like $4 million or $5 million. Never mind whatever PJ Walker's getting, which is nothing, literally nothing, winning games. Watson also pushed back against the suggestion that he has no desire to get back under center, especially considering his contract with the Browns is fully guaranteed. He argued that critics were attempting to create, quote, controversy and commotion. You quit on the Houston Texans. You quit. You said, I just don't want to play for you anymore, so I'm not gonna. All the while, when you were trying to find a new team, you took yourself out of the running for the Cleveland Browns. You decided you didn't want to go there, and that became public. You said, I'm not going to the Browns. And then Jimmy Haslam said, well, I'll give you $230 million, fully guaranteed, and all of a sudden, you wanted to go? Look, of course there's speculation as to whether or not you even want to be in this organization. Of course that's a thing. Quote, why wouldn't I want to play? I just said why. Watson said, I just worked my A off for 2 years to get back to playing, so why wouldn't I play? This is what I've been doing since I was 6 years old, so why wouldn't I want to play? I see the same thing. I see all the narratives. This, that, and the third. All that stuff is just trying to cause controversy and commotion. I'm fine. I'm happy. I'm not happy with the injury. But why would I do that? None of those national people know me. They don't talk to me. All that's speculation. No, but they talk to people inside your building. Make no mistake, they do. If it ain't coming from me, then all of that other shit is bullshit. Okay, so now we're just taking to further acting not like a professional. Okay. Earlier this week, Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski said the decision to not play Watson for the entirety of the game was made in an effort to protect the quarterback. Watson said he is focusing on what he can control. Quote, all I can do is control what I can control, the 3-time Pro Bowler said. Right now it's just rehabbing, trying to come back as strong as possible as soon as I possibly can. I'm not sure if it's going to linger or if it's not. We're not in a space where I should be out there. Walker is expected to handle the starting quarterback duties for the Browns to travel to Seattle. So let's get over to Ian Rappaport on the Insiders yesterday.
So, Tom, when you had the report on, I think it was Tuesday night, when you said Deshaun Watson had an MRI and it came back fine. By the way, this was a real injury. I think you took a little bit of blowback. It's like, why would you mention this was a real injury? It's weird, but it's actually important because this started off with a report is like, it's a shoulder bruise, Watson should be fine. And then we thought he was fine, and then he warmed up to play. And it turns out he was a month from playing when he warmed up and we thought he would play. So I'm not saying this is something that internally was diagnosed improperly. Externally, media-wise, our world, publicly, we haven't had a real understanding of what this injury is until probably early this week. It's a rotator cuff strain. Those are real injuries. He is in the window where theoretically he could come back. But this explains everything that wasn't previously explained. And when Deshaun Watson talks to reporters and says, yeah, it just didn't feel right. I thought I was ready. I wasn't ready. We could see it. It all kind of makes sense now. It just took 5 full weeks for us to have a full understanding of exactly the legitimate injury Deshaun Watson's dealing with.
Okay, so he's dealing with a legitimate injury. I don't know that a lot of people thought he wasn't dealing with a legitimate injury. But let's just be real. We've been told all kinds of things. So, yeah, there's a lot of confusion. Kevin Stefanski, the Browns are responsible for some of that. Deshaun Watson and his actions are responsible for that. Deshaun Watson's got the nerve to get mad at anybody because, let's be honest, your track record's not great over the last 3 years. There's a whole lot more to doubt there than there is to believe in. Let's just be real here. Stop that. That's crazy. And, of course, as you can imagine, some people are hammering this. He's never been the same since they took happy endings away from him. Oh, wait. Yeah. This doctor said, I've been saying this for weeks. It's always presented as a rotator cuff injury. No bruise lasts that long. Yeah, October 12th, it was a contusion. And this person said, no, I don't think so. Just sounds like classic Browns. Actions gets results. Absolutely. I mean, I respectfully don't care about that weirdo. Please don't tweet again until it's either Surtain going to the Dallas Cowboys or Surtain has signed with the Cowboys. A lot of people just don't want to hear about Watson, period. I really don't understand why it's such a big debate. We don't want the other team to prepare for a Watson-less Browns offense. Keep them on their toes. Go Browns. I mean, come on. So they lied. Yeah, they did. They did. It's crazy. They need a more in-depth investigation of his shoulder than they did for his alleged crimes. We will never be the same. He will never be the same. Have you understood the trade for him yet? He goes on to talk about why Belichick doesn't talk to me. I thought I was ready to give up multiple massages a day, but I wasn't. A massage would help. Wow. They should make him play through it like Baker did. It's crazy. Best contract ever in the NFL. The Browns are always doing what the Browns do. It took you 5 weeks to realize he's not injured? Yeah, it's crazy. Deshaun Watson's so overrated. So, there's a lot of people that just, I mean, they're completely out on the guy anyway. But, a lot of people are pointing out that this seems just like standard operating procedure kind of thing for the Browns. I mean, they got desperate because they've been through how many quarterbacks? We've seen that graphic where it's, 20 quarterbacks over the last 20 years or whatever since Bernie Kosar was the great, and he was very damn good. Bernie Kosar, a Browns legend. And then they think they got it solved with Deshaun Watson, but I was always skeptical because I was like, well, you're talking about a guy that quit on the Houston Texans and then demanded a trade. By the way, the Texans and Cal McNair, the owner with the Texans, he's no peach. Okay, he's no peach. But Nick Caserio, the Texans look like a stable organization right now. They do. Franchise quarterback, they got Will Anderson. They drafted well. I mean, all of a sudden, a good coach, DeMeco Ryans. Texans are so far, winning this trade by a country mile. It's not even close. And yeah, there's a lot of confusion on the injury because we don't know what to believe about the guy's willingness to play, his character, and what between that and what the Browns told us about the injury. And then, of course, him setting out or not setting out. Nobody knows that, really. I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy to blame everybody else. Stop it, dude. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.